welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs as well as artists. Man, my new best friend, Nathan Jude, man.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Some of the best, and I don't say this just to say it, because I didn't know where you were from, but you're from Argentina. Some of the best composers, this is unbeknownst to people, honestly, come from Argentina. Some of the best artists, some of the best singers come from Argentina. Did you know that? You did not know that until today. And right. Nathan Jude is with us. Man, you are just, you know what I describe you as?
I'm ready.
Kind of, this is an older reference, so it might be a little bit dated. Like an early Kenny Loggins. That's who he is. That's who you are. When I listen to your album, I'm like, this sounds just like an early, and that is definitely a compliment.
I take it that way, definitely.
But you have an incredible style. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. Happy to be here today.
Why music? Why not a doctor? Why not an architect? Why not a postman? Why a musician?
I think you and a couple hundred relatives are asking the same question. I actually started off on the other track. I was working for a large company and quickly grew in that company, ended up managing a multi-million-dollar department, and as far as the outside world could see, doing well, but it wasn't fulfilling that need I had inside, that desire to do something that was gonna really improve people's lives. You know, I was great at making money, and there's nothing wrong with making money, but I wanted to offer something that people could use to remember all the happy things about their lives, to remember all the things that make them fall in love with their spouse, or the reasons why they wake up and they feel grateful in the morning. So I just found that I wasn't settled in what I was doing, and that's why I guess that consistent, repeating urge inside to make something that people could use to enjoy and to feel happiness.
How did you find your talent? That's always for me. It's the question, right? I mean, what happened? Did your dad, your mom, they give you a guitar, a piano? What happened? How did that work out?
I like that question. So growing up, I had a very musical family. So right off the bat, the odds were in my favor. But I remember distinctly at about 6 or 7 years old, seeing a piano and hearing my dad play it and thinking, you know, if I ever learned how to play by ear, I would never stop. That was my thought. That was my only thought, is if I could listen to any song I wanted and sit down and play it, there's nothing else I could imagine wanting to do. And I think it was that little moment, that thought, that just clicked something on for me. And from there, as soon as I first sat to the piano, I picked out a song by ear, very basic, with one key.
Yeah.
A few years later, I was picking out full chords and harmonies by ear, and it just, it was a combination of the joy it brought me to have that natural inclination towards it, combined with tens of thousands of hours of work, and it never felt like work. I think that's the real answer. And
this is your first album, Nathan Jude, Unafraid.
That's right.
Pick up the guitar, man.
Oh, we're gonna do this, okay?
Pick up the guitar. Let's do this.
I really wasn't ready for this at all.
Yeah, we didn't stage this at all.
Scoop back a little
Well,
bit.
you take your time, but
yeah.
You're gonna hear, and let me kind of just, you can put it up. Yeah, you could just put it on the.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. But you're gonna listen to what I am sure is going to be one of the best singer-songwriters, period.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
This is a song called Until I'm Gone, and it was just kind of a reaction or a contradiction to this whole I'm gonna hook up with everyone, and today I know you, tomorrow you're out of my life. And I wanted to write something about loyalty. I'm married, and I really appreciate the idea of committing and really being there for someone forever. So that's what this song's about.
Go to town.
Beautiful, you're more than I deserve. Hear my admiration said to words. For of you alone I've grown so very fond. So I'll be yours until I'm gone. I can see our future as it grows. Little dreams collide to build a home. And on faces we'll find traces of our own. The world may shake, our love will hold. In the shadow of the storm, your light is warm. So I'll be yours until I'm gone. And I'll be yours until I'm gone. Thank you very much.
Oh man, that's the album is Nathan Jude, Unafraid, and you are fearless. That's just a beautiful song, man. Very inspiring, man. And you know the art of songwriting, right? I mean, how does it come to you? Does it come to you like at 1:30 in the morning? Does it come to you at 7 o'clock? Does it come to you during lunch? What happens?
Well, there's a couple general rules that I've found are consistent with songwriting. One, it never comes to you when you have paper nearby. So it wants to make sure you're going to work for it. So, you know, maybe you're in a swimming pool, diving at the bottom, and then you have a great idea that's 4 lines, and it's time to run home, dry off. But no, honestly, the songwriting experience for me has not been an easy one. I find that on average, a song takes about 2 to 2.5 years to write correctly. It's easy to write a song that has a great melody and you compromise on the lyrics or vice versa, but I wanted songs where the melody got stuck in your head and the lyrics, each word helped grow the meaning of that song.
Is it easier to write the song in Spanish or in English?
That's also a very good question. It's about even, actually, if you can believe that. I find that in Spanish, I have a much easier time creating love-themed lyrics.
Because Spanish is a romantic
It's
language.
such a romantic
Right.
language. But when I need to really get down to describing a unique circumstance, I like English more because I've got so many adjectives I can throw in so quickly and word this thing very complexly in a short amount of words. So it'll depend on the genre a little bit that I'm writing in as well.
It's like reading Pablo Neruda, right, in Spanish or in English. And when I read it in English, it just loses some of that romanticism. I don't know.
No, I agree with you. There's a reason why many Latin songs don't get translated in English, even if they have pop radio potential. They just play them in the US in Spanish because it would be a disservice sometimes to try to recreate.
When you were growing up, you must have listened to a record again, or a songwriter or a singer again and again and again. Who was that?
Oh man, it's too many. One that I actually listened to a lot was Billy Joel. All of Billy
Really?
Joel. Really,
Wow.
I loved the melodies that he used. And I thought that he had such a unique way of being catchy and deep at the same time. So he's just one of the many, obviously many others. I love the Beatles, I loved...
And in Spanish?
Oh man, in Spanish, I'm all over the place in Spanish. We had Juan Luis Guerra.
Oh, sure.
We had...
Con 440.
Claro. A lot of different bachata stuff, believe it or not. It's just growing up, for some reason, the bachata stuff always hung out to me. And then whatever was on the radio at that time. A lot of the artists I listened to growing up, I didn't know who they were. We grew up in a very limited, non-Christian music household. So when I heard something I loved and I didn't really get a chance to go out and buy the albums all the time. But yeah.
I am surprised and hurt that, well, and I'm going to take you back since you're from Argentina.
Come on, let's do it.
Los Iracundos, maybe. Oh.
I know. You would think.
Sandro de America. I mean, I'm going way back, man.
Yeah. There were a lot of great ones, Fito Páez and whatnot.
Páez.
Unfortunately, most of those, believe it or not, I discovered later on when I was buying my own music and finally selecting. And when I was already in the States is when I really started discovering more of that.
How can people get this album? Nathan Jude, Unafraid.
Correct.
I listened to the entire album and I was just really mesmerized. And I didn't have a favorite song at the end of the day because each one of them kind of just took me back different places, and that's what music should do.
I appreciate that. That was a bit of the goal.
Hey, man. So where do we go get it?
So to get this album, you can go to nathanjude.com.
Yep.
Just nathanjude.com. And on the homepage, the first thing that pops up is actually the album. You can listen to samples from it and buy it right there.
Te agradezco muchísimo, compadre.
Un honor estar aquí. Muchas gracias.
Mi hermano, gracias. Y no dijimos los granitos verdes tampoco.
No hablamos de Granito Verde.
Pero esto ya es más contemporáneo.
Sí, la próxima me parece. Un episodio entero.
Simón.
Sí.
Gracias. With that, we're out.